guys, my name is Rage and I'm back today with another Dark Dimension 3 video for you all. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the potential characters that I'm looking to bring in for the city nodes. Haven't started Dark Dimension 3, so this is all just preliminary planning, of course. But if you guys haven't already, please go ahead and check out my part 1 and part 2 where I do talk about the characters I am looking to bring into for the global nodes as well as cosmic. But as you can see here, you know, we still have quite a bit of time before we even get into the city nodes, but it's just definitely good to kind of be proactive. As you can see here, for the city nodes, it actually does start in node 13 here, so it's not until a little bit later that we actually do get to dive in to actually face these nodes with the city roster. So for the most part, I'm likely going to focus on both cosmic as well as global characters, just because that's going to be the best bang for your buck. With that being said, let's dive into the characters I am looking to bring. Symbiote SpiderMan is without a doubt indisputably the king of the city nodes. The main reason being the fact that his symbiote roster as well as himself, his passive here in Raids and Dark Dimension, whenever there's a negative applied to enemy, not only is he healing himself as well as his symbiote allies, but in addition he also gains 100% drain. In addition, his allies that are symbiote allies classification also gain that 100% drain. And as you can see, T4ing his passive gives him an extra 15% dodge chance, as well as boosting all of his allies by 30% max health. So this is absolutely huge. It's the main reason why he's so successful in Dark Dimension. Not only does Symbiote SpiderMan have a stun, but as well, he also has his special here where he can apply a bleed. And it just really be able to apply that bleed and extending those conditions in addition to a stun and slow, making him a very invaluable piece. That's why you'll see that in almost every kind of city character attempt by content creators and other players. Symbiote SpiderMan is definitely the core. He's going to be the key piece here, and very, very mandatory, especially getting through the city nodes. With that being said here, you guys, next I'm going to talk about AntiVenom here. AntiVenom is really just going to be able to assist and synergize with the symbiote roster, because not only can he provide buffs, he can also cleanse, and the really big thing about him is the fact that he can actually revive a symbiote ally. You know, one of the few characters in the game that can revive. More specifically, he can only revive symbiote allies classification. So as you can see here, we already talked about how powerful Symbiote SpiderMan is. To be able to give him that second chance and coming back to battle, unbelievable. So that's why it's so key having someone that can directly benefit that king of the city node. You bet AntiVenom is really, really crucial for that. Being able to apply his bleeds as well, really key piece, but really just providing that overall synergy and support that the symbiote roster can get value for. Now, what I will say is many players have successfully completed Dark Dimension 3 before AntiVenom even came into the game, so he's not exactly mandatory, but I can go through the I'll go through the requirement order as we wrap up the characters here. With that being said, another key piece in the symbiote roster, you guys, Carnage. And the main reason you bring him on board is the fact, due to his passive here, when an enemy drops below that 25% threshold, he does actually fill up the speed bar for both himself as well as symbiote allies. In addition, also providing a heal for 10% of his max health. So not only is he synergizing already once again with Symbiote SpiderMan, he's also going to gain that passive from Symbiote SpiderMan in terms of gaining that extra grit drain as well as healing. You bet he's going to be able to provide overall synergy, and he's the main reason why we can get so many attacks in, especially when you have a symbiote character on your roster. Being able to strike the enemy before they can even get a turn, it's absolutely unbelievable, especially if you're able to consistently bring them down to that health threshold, especially if you're up against minions, you know, summoned by Nick Fury, so forth. Just be able to provide a lot of value in turns, and that's really key. I would say the most powerful dynamic right now in the city nodes is definitely Carnage and Symbiote SpiderMan. Having those two just to be that core of your city nodes is absolutely crucial in my opinion, especially based on what I've researched and other content creators. Many argue that Carnage and Symbiote are mandatory. Everyone else afterwards just makes the nodes easier, of course. Next, you guys, Venom here is another key piece here in my opinion, just because of the fact that not only gaining that synergy once again from the symbiote roster, as I previously mentioned, but as well Venom's passive here, as you guys can see, he gains 100% focus for any Spider-Verse character present. In addition, he also does apply defense up for 2 turns, and that's really key here, especially in Dark Dimension, because giving them the decent defense up to all symbiote allies, as you can see here, it doesn't matter if it's in Dark Dimension, It can be all across game modes, but the key piece is on his turn that defense up applies, and that's really going to be the key reason here that you want to T4 this. I obviously haven't done it yet, but just being able to heal himself and giving him the defense up for 2 turns as well as all the symbiote characters, very, very crucial to ensure that survivability. And not just thinking about Dark Dimension 3, but really ensuring that that continuity and that placeholder for Dark Dimension 4 when you can bring all these characters that you've invested in to provide ultimate value, especially in the ultimate late game in Dark Dimension 4. So as you can see here with these 4 characters that I've mentioned, they're all symbiote, they're all bio, and that's going to make it very, very difficult to kind of farm materials and whatnot. So that's why, in my opinion, if you guys had a priority list, I would personally focus on symbiote Spider-Man and Carnage, and really Venom and AntiVenom is really just the icing on the cake. They're really going to be able to provide making that experience easier in Dark Dimension 3. And last but not least, I gotta give credit here, you guys, to Dr. Octopus. Most recent character I've just recently unlocked a week ago with the legendary event. I hope you guys were able to capitalize on it. But Dr. Octopus, planning to bring him on board for a couple key reasons, right? Just he can support the team. His abilities allow him to actually be able to flip the enemy's negatives. In addition, he will ensure that they cannot apply an offense down on our team, ensuring that we actually have that upper hand, especially when that condition is placed upon us. Last but not least, Dr. Octopus also has the ability to be able to summon Sinister 6 minions to really assist in battle, so really kind of giving us that diversion and really ultimately providing additional support. And the main reason I've got to mention him is because, you know, most of the time, especially with the Dark Dimension 3 being released earlier, Dr. Octopus wasn't in the game, but now that he's a serious consideration, especially if you guys are looking forward into Dark Dimension 4, with Dr. Octopus being 2 things, right? First of all, he's a legendary classification, so he's going to provide value for those legendary only nodes in Dark Dimension 4. Next, he's also as you can see, a tech character here, so he's not going to collide with the symbiote bio roster where you have to get all those bio materials to get to level them up. So in my opinion, I'm personally going to go for both Carnage and symbiote Spider-Man first. I'm going to see how my bio is for Venom. That's who I'm planning to bring in, and obviously if I can bring in Dr. Octopus, that will likely be my 4-man roster. AntiVenom is going to provide a lot of value for reviving, but in my opinion, Venom's defense up is, in my opinion, more important, just because he can ultimately ensure that our characters don't die. So it's kind of counterintuitive. Additionally, AntiVenom does require quite a bit of biomaterials. So with that being said, that's going to be my main 3 right now. It's going to be Venom, Carnage, symbiote Spider-Man. But I'm going to consider Dr. Octopus if I can get his gear in before Venom. You bet I'm going to try and bring him in, just because he is tech, so it doesn't collide with the bio. And just to further kind of justify this to you guys, I love looking into the Dark Dimension 3 here and just kind of getting a gauge of, you know, what other players have utilized here to really kind of like provide support for my conclusions here, right? So as you can see here, you know, this is all the global leaderboards here that they've left a mark in terms of being able to successfully complete. You can see the most popular being symbiote, Venom, and Carnage, you know, especially once you drag it down. So the good news is that, yes, we do not likely need other characters, but that's why I was saying, you know, Dr. Octopus would be a great consideration. But you bet if I can get the biomaterials for these 3 are likely going to be the ones that start off my city nodes. And it should be smooth sailing, especially with the fact that you can research and take a look at what people have used in the past, and it's very consistent. It's always going to be the symbiote roster, and it's nice to see that Dr. Octopus does appear here and there in terms of finally being in these nodes. What I personally wouldn't recommend is the defenders here, as you guys can see on the bottom, just because of the fact that they're likely going to change going forward. Perhaps they'll get some buffs, but you want to also think about Dark Dimension 4, and that's why it's really key to really consider the symbiote roster, even though it's, you know, heavily biased towards them over other characters. So with that being said, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's my game plan for now, and I'll definitely keep you posted as I'm getting in preparation for my Dark Dimension 3 progress, but you bet I'll capture that in video for you guys. So as always, thank you for watching and supporting the channel, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.